Orange Friday to all you out there. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Giants Talk. This past Wednesday, the Giants revealed their coaching staff for the upcoming 2020 season, and it reveals a lot of intriguing names. The Giants went with a lot of youth in their coaching staff for the 2020 season. A lot of guys focused on development. Got a lot of guys that don't have a lot of experience at the major league level. They've got some minor league experience, but very limited major league coaching experience. Gabe Kapler said the Giants are really focusing on player development and developing players at the major league level, which is why they chose the staff they did. The bullpen coach will be 37-year-old Craig Albernaz. Albernaz spent the 2017 season as the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays Class A short season team Hudson Valley. He led the team to the New York Penn League Championship that year, and in 2018 he was promoted to coach the Tampa Bay Rays Class A squad. He led them to the Midwest League Championship and was named the Midwest League Manager of the Year. In 2019 he served as the Rays minor league field coordinator. As a player, Albernaz was a catcher and spent 9 years in the minor leagues, 8 of those with the Tampa Bay Rays organization. So he's been with the Rays pretty much his entire playing and coaching career. One interesting tidbit on Albernaz, according to an article from the Herald News, he did get up to a few big league camps during his playing days, although he never made it up to the major leagues. But Joe Madden really took notice of Albernaz during those camps and was quoted as saying that he has future manager written all over him. So clearly Albernaz's success as a minor league manager speaks for itself, and it will be fun to see what he's able to bring to this 2020 Giants coaching staff. A man he will be working very closely with is the Giants' new pitching coach and former A's right-hander Andrew Bailey. Bailey compiled 95 saves in his career, and along with his time spent in the A's organization, he also pitched for the Yankees, Red Sox, Phillies, and Angels. He's 35 years old, and he began his coaching career with the Angels in 2018, as he was the instant replay coordinator and assistant coach. In 2019, he was promoted to the bullpen coach, and now that he's hired by the Giants, he will be replacing his former pitching coach, Curt Young. They were together when Bailey was with the Athletics in 2009. Now the Giants announced their pitching director a couple of weeks ago, and that is the 38-year-old Brian Bannister. Bannister has been with the Red Sox organization since 2015, most recently serving as the Vice President of Pitching Development. He pitched in the big leagues for 5 years, 4 of those with the Kansas City Royals, and in 2007 he finished 3rd in the American League Rookie of the Year voting. Now, Alex Pavlovich of NBC Sports Bay Area reported that Bannister will work with pitchers at all levels of the Giants organization, but he will focus most specifically on the minor league pitchers. Now, I think this is a major key because the Giants farm system at this point, the strength of the system really is position players. They've got quite a few outfielders. They're deep at the shortstop position, but the Giants, although they have a few guys in that upper tier of pitching, they don't have maybe the depth of pitchers in their system that maybe they would like. So bringing in as many analytically driven coaches, coordinators to try to really help develop these pitchers, because obviously that was the backbone of the Giants' 3 World Series championships. And that'll be a key when they are to get back to that point. The Giants need to really, really develop pitching, and they're going to need the Bumgarners, the Canes, the Lincecums, those type of guys to come out of this Giants system. Obviously, look at Seth Corey. He's the headliner in the Giants system of who should be really the next ace of this Giants pitching staff. You look at him along with Logan Webb, Tyler Beatty, and, some guys lower in the system like Caleb Killian as guys who can come up and hopefully be the next round of Giants pitchers, but it's going to be up to guys like Bannister and Matt Daniels, who the Giants hired from Driveline last year, and several other minor league coordinators to really get the most out of the pitching prospects in the Giants system. Now the Giants assistant coach will be Ethan Katz, a 36-year-old who's in his 2nd year with the Giants organization. Katz spent 2019 as the Giants minor league pitching coordinator, and prior to that he spent 5+ years in the Angels and Mariners organizations as a minor league pitching coach. An interesting fact about Katz is that during his time in coaching, he has worked with Jack Flaherty of the St. Louis Cardinals, Lucas Giolito of the Chicago White Sox, and Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves. Other than Ron Wotus, Katz is the only member of this new coaching staff that has been hired from within the Giants organization. The Giants went to the Cleveland Indians organization to find their next bench coach, and that is the 31-year-old Kai Correa. Correa will also serve as the infield coach and the base running coach. He played 4 years of baseball at Division III Puget Sound, and in 2018 he was the Arizona League Indians infield coach, and in 2019 he was the Class A short season Cleveland Indians defensive coordinator. Correa has received high marks for his work with infielders, and Gabe Kapler is hoping that will carry over to the 2020 Giants. The Giants continued the youthful trend on the hitting side of things, hiring the former Los Altos High School baseball coach, Donnie Ecker. While the Giants were celebrating their 2014 World Series, Donnie Ecker had finished up what would be his last season as Los Altos High School baseball coach. He was then hired by the St. Louis Cardinals and worked in their minor league system from 2015 to 2017 as a hitting instructor before being hired by the Los Angeles Angels. He then became the AAA hitting coach of the Salt Lake Bees. The Cincinnati Reds gave him his first major league job in 2019 as he joined David Bell's staff as an assistant hitting coach. Bell had nothing but great things to say about Ecker's work with the Reds hitters, and he really was sorry to lose a guy of Ecker's caliber. It is kind of ironic, as just a year ago the Reds snatched David Bell from the Giants minor league system, a guy that many had pegged as a possibility to be the Giants' next manager. Now the Giants are returning a favor with a guy who's really well thought of in the league, the 33-year-old Donnie Ecker. He will have a couple of assistants, one of those being the former Dodgers minor league hitting coach, Justin Veal. Veal is just 29 years old, and he played a couple of seasons in the Orioles minor league system as a middle infielder. Ironically, during that time, he crossed paths and was a teammate with current Giants outfielder Mike Yastrzemski. He spent the last 3 seasons as the Dodgers minor league hitting coach, and during his time there, he overlapped with Farhan Zaidi and Gabe Kapler, which likely was a major reason that led to his hire. The Giants' director of hitting this season will be the 31-year-old Dustin Lind. Lind worked as a hitting coach for the Mariners the last 2 years, assisting players at both the major and the minor league levels of the organization. Prior to that, he was an independent hitting coach from 2014 to 2017. The Giants are yet to add a first base coach who will also work with the outfielders, and they're still looking to hire a quality control coach. But it is clear that the Giants are going young with several coaches that do not have major league experience. It'll be up to Ron Wotus to coach the coaches, in effect. Wotus is 58 years old, and Henry Schulman of the San Francisco Chronicle did the math, and these coaches outside of Wotus and Kapler have a combined 5.5 years of major league experience. And Mark Sanchez of KNBR calculated the average age of the coaches outside of Wotus and Kapler is 33 1/3 years old. So the Giants are going young. That's the new trend in baseball, and the Giants seem to be the first ones going down that path exclusively in regards to the coaching staff. It'll be fascinating to see if these coaches are able to connect with the Giants' veteran players as well as develop the young players in the organization. It should be pretty clear early on to see how this really is gelling and how the veteran players speak of these coaches and how the young players do as well. This will be a fascinating development to follow this season. Now on to the news of the week. Alex Pavlovich reported earlier this week that the Dodgers have interest in Madison Bumgarner, and he reported later this week that the interest is mutual. Now this is the complete opposite of what Giants fans wanted to hear. Everybody's waiting for the Giants to bring Madison Bumgarner back, but now the fact that he could be heading off to LA is cause for major concern. I can definitely see why the Dodgers and Bumgarner have interest. First, as everybody knows, the Dodgers have had incredible success during the regular season for the past 3 years, but have been unable to get it done in the postseason. Now, why not turn to the best postseason pitcher of the decade in Madison Bumgarner? You can certainly see why there's a fit there. As far as Bumgarner's concerned, it's a chance to win now with a Dodger team that is primed to go to the postseason once again and have an opportunity to compete for a World Series. Bumgarner is also very close friends with Clayton Kershaw, which could aid his reasoning to head to Los Angeles. Now, the Dodgers have been reluctant to give out contracts to players on the other side of 30, and they've been reluctant to give out large contracts overall. So it's yet to be seen really how genuine this interest is in Bumgarner, but looking at the peripherals, it could definitely be a fit. Now, as far as the Giants are concerned, they met with Bumgarner's representatives this week at the winter meetings, and they continue to maintain contact, according to Farhan Zaidi. Now, the Angels, the Reds, the Twins, the Padres, and the Diamondbacks have also shown interest in Bumgarner, so his market appears to be robust. After all, who wouldn't want Madison Bumgarner? I just get the feeling that based on the direction the Giants are going, it's unlikely that they're going to give out a large contract to Madison Bumgarner under this new ownership and Farhan Zaidi. Excuse me, not the new ownership, but under a new president of baseball operations in Farhan Zaidi. It just doesn't seem to be the way the Giants are trending. Who knows? Hopefully I'm wrong. Madison Bumgarner is a guy who certainly deserves to finish his career as a San Francisco Giant. Stay tuned for more updates on the Bumgarner situation. Thanks so much for tuning in. That's going to close out this episode. I look forward to catching up with you guys later in this offseason as the Giants make more additions to the roster. Are there some trades upcoming? Some free agency additions? Will the Giants add a guy like Nick Castellanos? That is yet to be seen. But for now, thanks for watching. See you next time.